this is just a mixtape.
It was my first long major tournament. So since being in Australia, I've done maybe one or two Newcastle football tournaments, but the Sydney International Cup is one huge soccer tournament that goes on every year. It's amazing teams that honestly travel from Perth, New Zealand, just a myriad of places who bring in quality teams from the ages of under 8s to under 12s. And big shout out to the organisers of the Sydney International Cup. Mate, honestly, the quality of the pitches, the referees, just the accommodation, the food and the vendors that they have there was quality, was top notch. And I have no complaints over it. So you have to give credit where credit's due. And I really want to shout out the people of the Sydney International Cup. It's absolutely something that I would do honestly again and have no qualms with going down. There's certain tournaments that I used to go to in America where things were just kind of disorganized, or they ran long, or the officiating wasn't that good, or it was clear that certain clubs shouldn't be there. But this I felt was very balanced. It had enough of quality and enough of teams seeking challenge and wanting to expose themselves to just the football world and get out of their respective bubble. Um, my experience, I had to take my under 8 boys and my under 11 girls down to Sydney, and honestly, it was an experience, and I can see, and I took some notes on it because being this first tournament and being my girls' first time going down there, and the boys, some of them, their first experience going down with the Sydney International Cup, and some of them being in this situation before and understanding just the competition and the discipline and the mental aspect that can have over a span of 4 days. It was tremendous. And shout out to all the parents. Shout out to all the parents for the sacrifices that they have to make to come down, their time, their energy, getting their children up, getting them prepared to come out, organizing everything, having shin guards, boots ready. Like that. You can't applaud them enough for that. So again, I always want to give credit where credit's due. So the notes I took, just because I just felt like this was a learning experience for me, but I felt like God was giving me two perspectives of this weekend. Um, let's just start with my boys. The boys showcased why it is so important for us to have a childlike faith, right? First 2 games that we hit the ground running on, we played this team called Sydney Hokoa City, and they were amazing. They subsequently end up winning the entire tournament. They won the cup to come first place, and we went toe to toe with them. We were up 3-1 and just end up just fumbling the ball, just dropping the ball. I think the moment just got too big and we just got too anxious, and they end up clawing back in the game, ended up with a 3-4 score sheet. So that put a little bit of sour taste in the boys' mouths, but ultimately I was super proud of the boys because it was getting out on the right foot. Second game was against Lab Academy, who also went on to win third place out of 32 teams. So that one was a little bit more unbalanced. That was the next day. The boys, I guess, underestimated this team. I guess they were on a little bit of a high, like, oh, well, we just, lost by 1 point. We were winning. We went down 4-0. And that put us out of contention for the cup. So those 2 losses, we were already off to this very shaky start. But just having to talk to the boys and having to establish his faith, and really that's been the component because of my faith in Jesus Christ, and really not forcing it or pushing it on the boys, but leading by example, and not just talking about my faith, but actually living it out. and being a living, breathing example of what it takes to be a follower of Christ and what it takes to have faith in the unknown of dealing with doubt and fear and animosity and negativity around you and your atmosphere and learning how to navigate through that. So pouring that and serving these boys this weekend was exactly the narrative that I was on. And so we went into the third game and we beat that team 4-0, Dios Academy. And this put us into like a win-lose situation to compete for the plate. So you have the cup of where it's still like the number one through the 16 teams out of 32, and we dropped down to the like the second division where you can rank from 17th through 32. So we couldn't lose competing for the plane, and we went on an absolute tear. That I think it was it Sunday? Yeah, that Sunday we came with one game, and you had to keep winning in order to be into the next games. The first game we won convincingly. The second game, it came down to the wire. The boys had a defensive breakdown, ended up scoring 1-1, and then we went to penalties. And like it was just so much adversity in this jam-packed into this 4-day weekend, mate. Like it was brilliant. But the boys end up winning into the penalties 2-1, and then we went into a game to where we were down 2-0 in the first half of the game. For the boys, to have the opponents cheering and their fans cheering, the parents egging them on and feeling confident, like, yeah, we're going to walk away with this win. Me as a coach, I try to stay calm. And even though I'm yelling and even though I'm bringing the energy, I'm a very calm under pressure type of coach. I don't get rattled by certain things because I've been in these situations, not just in football, but in life. I've been in pressure situations. I've been in some situations where it's life or death, fight or flight. And to be able to know how to breathe and get through that and live to fight another day, that's something that me, my cousins, the people who I'm around have taught me, and I'm really appreciative of God put me in those situations because it helps me exemplify my faith. So we were down 2-0. This team was game ready, and great coaching, respect to the parents. They came off with rockets. For 8-year-olds, these boys were putting it top bins, like quality shooting. We were down 2-0, and the noise was getting loud. And I remember all of the boys, all 7 of them, looked over at me and heard me say, hey, now it's time to fight. Now it's time to battle. Now you need to stay calm, relax, and let's get this goal back. Let's fight our way back. We end up scoring 1, fought us back in the game. And you can tell the momentum started to shift. So once we scored that first goal, and then we got 2 off of a free kick, off of one of the game-ready kids doing a high kick almost to one of our players' face. One of my players, Tom Costello, put it top bins, beautiful free kick. Goalie had no chance. That levels us out 2-2. And now I'm getting fired up. Because now we have other kids from Rose and other parents and people coming from other games watching me. And now and watching the boys. And now they're seeing my antics. But it's not antics. I'm people think that it's this character that I put on, but this is mixed. Like, this is my personality. I'm not a trash talker, but I am going to pull everything and absolutely everything into every single person that I coach, whether that be a youth, a teenager, adult that I train, my family, my friends. I'm going to pull everything because I absolutely love bringing the best out of people because I want that same thing for myself. And this is the quality of what our Father in heaven tells us to live by, is to bring love yourself as love your neighbor as you love yourself. And that's something that I take extremely to the most seriousness. So hyping these boys up, 2-2, then we get a third goal, And now I'm telling them, hey, don't get complacent. Stay humble. Stay hungry. Let's keep fighting. We get a fourth goal, fifth goal, sixth goal, seven. And the game ends 7-7. I think they scored one more goal, but it was 7-3. Fought back. I had another one of the coaches come behind me when we were down 2-0 and kind of like, damn, Myckx. And it's like, I don't get rattled. And I could care less about what other people's opinion is of. I don't care if you like me or you dislike me. I love you, but I am not here for the fakeness. I am not here for the doubt, and I'm not here for that anxiety or whatever you feel or however you coach. Respect is that, but you stay over there. You draw a line. You stay on your side. I'm going to coach how I know how to coach. I've been doing this for a long time, and that's not to me to sound cocky. That's confidence in how I carry myself and how I conduct my teams. So we came back 7-3, and that put us into the final to play on Monday. We got into the final on Monday, and again, the same narrative, the same epitome of what I wanted from the boys is faith. Do you have faith? Now you're going to have to pair that faith with your work and your actions. Are you going to show up? We got down 1-0. And we're playing on the grandstand at Cromer Park in the Lucas Neal Stadium, where Manly, the football team Manly, plays in the NPL League. This is a beautiful stadium. Shout out to Lucas Neal. But beautiful stadium. We're playing on pitch 1. We got Rose fans. We got people from all over. We played Ajax from Go Academy, and they were a solid team, very well coached, and they had us up 1-0. And then the comeback came. As soon as they scored, a minute, a couple seconds later, we get a goal and we level it out. Then we get another goal, and now I can just feel the momentum coming. And the boys are looking over and they're feeding off of the energy as I'm hyping them up. I'm doing knee tucks, jumping up in the air. These are not antics. This is just how I coach. For the 15 years, people who know me, this is how I am. I am going to pour it. I am going to come down. And this is no disrespect. This is no cockiness. But I am here to pour into my boys. And if they don't have the energy, or if they have parents doubting when they go down and they need someone to pick them up, that is going to be me, because that is what our Father does for us. Every time when people or the world wants to beat up on us and we have our heads down and we're bloody and we're walking around with all these scars and these wounds, God lifts us up through his word. God lifts us up through the actions and through the beautiful intrinsic nature of who he is, giving us his Holy Spirit and having that as this helpmate. And the Holy Spirit just enthroned, and it embodies me when I'm coaching football, because I know it's bigger than that. And to pour into these boys, it was just an absolute. And so the boys end up winning the plate and placing 17th out of 32 teams, with the plate winners in that second division. And overall for the weekend went 5-2, and it was brilliant. It was brilliant. And, man, I couldn't be so much more proud of them to know that we can compete with the top levels in Australia. We can compete in the top teams in Sydney and outside of our bubble. And these boys are going to be miraculous players when they get older.